You and I are polar opposites. The newest romance manga obsession of mine. I don't know if you guys are new around here, but I love romance series, so let's just get started with the series. The series follows our main characters, our main girl Miyu Suzuki, and the main boy Yusuke Tani. The first thing I noticed about this series that is pretty different is that the series is more about the girl than the guy, but let's get into the story. What we learned from pretty early on is that Suzuki is a really energetic girl, and I would say she is pretty popular. She always likes to talk to Tani in class about anything, whether it's her day or if it's something that's girly, and we see it in the beginning panel. She is talking to her friends about lashes and mascara, and she asks Tani what he thinks about it, but he just says to her, "How should I know?" And then after this, Suzuki straight up says she likes him in her mind. That may be a record for the quickest a girl has ever admitted to liking someone in manga, bro. Tani is quiet in class and nobody really notices him or really talks to him aside from Suzuki. She says what draws herself to him so much is that he speaks his mind, even if it means he is alone. He doesn't try to fit in with everyone else, which I do think is pretty cool as well. She didn't bring up his looks at all. Since Suzuki is so loud, people think that she bothers him, but he reiterates to them that it doesn't bother him the slightest. She does always act loud, but around him it's like she does it a bit extra because she can't talk to him normally like she does everyone else, which is typical for somebody in high school. I'm sure we all have went through the same thing before, but she doesn't want people to know that she likes him because once again she's in high school and it's embarrassing for her. She is pretty popular and he is unpopular, making her think that they aren't completely compatible with each other, and this makes them polar opposites. But after all of this, Suzuki's friends invite her to King of Burger, and yes, it's called King of Burger. She says no because she just wants to go home. She is alone for a while at school though, just thinking. Instead of going straight home, she just wanted time to herself. But when she eventually heads home, she bumps into Tani and she loses her shit. She wonders why he is there, but it's because he is in student council and he had extra work to do. While they spend time on idle chatter, she is super nervous around him, but while they were talking, they find out that they head home in the same direction. And although she is super nervous at this point, she asks him if he wants to head home together. And at this point, she's about to break. So because Tani isn't really social, she has to start the conversation. She talks about the King of Burger. After a bit of a drawn out conversation, she jokingly asks him if he would ever like to go there with her sometimes. To her surprise, he actually said yes. She wondered if he was joking, but part of the reason that she likes him is because he doesn't really joke around and he is always speaking his true feelings. Alright, so next is what really shocked me. After she gets flustered by him saying he would go on a date with her, essentially. I'm not sure if she touched his hand on purpose or by mistake, but he notices her hand and he grabs it. Suzuki at this point doesn't know at all what to do. It's super funny. A lot of thoughts are going through her mind right now. She essentially blacks out after this. Her mind went completely away. She even says she doesn't remember how she got home, and she just feels really embarrassed at this moment. She even says she doesn't know how she's going to go to school tomorrow, and she's dreading it. I can definitely relate to this from my middle school and high school days. She overslept, and for a long time apparently. By the time she gets to school, it's lunchtime. She didn't want to miss school because she had perfect attendance up to this point. She notices that Tani isn't in class when she gets there, meaning he is in the cafeteria. But next, I'd say is where the story really takes off. Some guy comes into the classroom and noticed that Suzuki is actually at school today. He just walks up and asks her if she and Tani are dating because a friend of his saw them heading home together. In her mind, there's just a lot going on right now. She doesn't know what to say or do because she is sure that, that he likes her and she likes him, but they held hands literally just for a few minutes, if that. They didn't say anything about it really, it just happened. But being embarrassed, like a high schooler, she just says out loud that it's not what everybody thinks, basically saying that they are just friends. But as she says this, Tani walks into the room, and this makes Suzuki think about this occurrence for the rest of the day, and she doesn't know how to talk to him or what to say because of how she responded. It definitely would be hard to approach someone after that, but actually, he is the one who speaks to Suzuki first, and he tells her that he is sorry about yesterday and just to forget about it. This hurt my soul a little bit, bro. So now he starts to walk away, and this makes her feel awful, of course. And the guy from before who told her about, he's like, "Oh, I just saw you guys talking, so you must be close." But to my surprise, Suzuki just bursted out in the middle of class and announced that she liked Tani. This boosted her so high for me. She even says that she is the one who initiated them walking home together and that there shouldn't be any problems with it. But it seems like everyone there actually wants her to go and chase Tani, which means they're rooting for them, which is really good to see. Nobody made fun of her for liking loner in class, which I'm sure we've seen it in a lot of manga before. We then turn to Tani, but right now he's in his head because of what happened. He is now thinking that he was in way over his head. He isn't sure if that she likes him and just was embarrassed of the fact, or if it's something else entirely. He realizes though that she makes his days. He is quiet, but her talkative nature makes all of his days more fun. But she catches up to him and yells at the top of her lungs that she likes him. And she gave him one of the best confessions I've seen in manga and anime, bro. She just goes on about how she's sorry for a lot of things, like just always talking his ear off about things he doesn't particularly care about or like, and basically telling everyone in class loudly that she just wasn't interested in him, and now she really just wants to spend more time with him, and that she's a dork. She even tells him that she was happy when he held her hand, but he really does like it when she talks his ear off. And he says that he is actually a dork himself. She calls him cute for that in his face, bro. She cries at the end of the chapter when it basically confirms that they both like each other, and he hands her a pocket tissue or a hanky. Then he is like, oh, actually, won't this rub off your mascara if you use this? So he remembered what she was talking about with the makeup from the very beginning of the chapter, bro. So I've been reading this manga for the last few days, and I must say, I really love it. The art style isn't as eye-popping, I'd say, when it comes to most romance manga, but the two main characters I absolutely love, especially Suzuki. I don't think I fell for a character as quickly as I did for her. She developed more in a single chapter than a lot of main female characters do in years. She is the one who initiated everything first, the walk home, the confession. But yeah, you guys need to read You and I Are Polar Opposites. It is free on the Manga Plus app. You will not regret it. And I'll see you guys later.